Hello and welcome to your crime and security program, Crime Watch on Television Continental. I'm Ivy, Kano. In this edition, Kano police parades 843 suspected criminals. In Rivers, Navy destroys 40 illegal oil refineries. This and many more coming your way in this edition. We'll start off in Kano State, where the Kano State Police Command has arrested 843 suspected criminals. They were caught at various locations within Kano metropolis. TVC News Kano correspondent Ibrahim Issa reports that 111 of the suspects were illegal migrants.
These are the 843 suspected criminals arrested by the Kano Police Command at various locations in the metropolis. Many of these suspects are homeless and were found roaming the streets of Kano.
They are almost living in roundabout streets, uncompleted building, to mention but a few. Now interrogating them and we are confining them, and before we take necessary action. The areas we identify in these operations include Kantunkwari Market, Singa, Gap Hotel, Railway Station, Ilar Road, Galadima Road, Neja Street, Abedi and Sanigiwa Road, all in Kano State.
Amongst the arrested suspects were women and children. 111 of them are from countries like Niger, Cameroon, Chad and Ghana. Police authorities in Kano say the foreigners will be deported to their various countries.
Then we have 111 foreigners who came outside Nigeria. We want after due investigation, we are going to hand over them to Nigerian Immigration Service for further action. Also, we have 67 underage among them. Most of them are called Al-Majris. They are under age of 10. We also have 112 female suspects among them, which 90 of them confessed they don't have anything to do here in Kano apart from prostitution. They were arrested in Ebedi area. Some of them were selling alcohol, some of them were selling Indian hemp, and a lot of other drugs and intoxicant substances here in Kano.
Some of the arrested suspects narrate their ordeal to TVC News. I came from Niger. I work as a water vendor at Plaza in Kano State. I came from Niger and I'm among those water vendors at IBB Way in Kano. We were asleep when the police woke us up and asked us to follow them, and we did.
So
I come from Lagos. I brought container come Kano, Ilam container. So that place, mosquito too much. I went to hotel and I sleep at hotel. So I surprised yesterday night. They come there and break my door and arrest me. From where I told them my ID card, they said I know they after ID card, I should follow them to the station. So since that time, I'm here. No any reason, nothing.
Kano police officials say the arrest would continue until the state is free of miscreants.
I'll say that's a good cleanup in Kano. Now to Abuja. The investigative panel set up by the Inspector General of Police, IGP Ibrahim Idris, to investigate electoral offences perpetrated during the December 10th legislative rerun elections in Rivers State says it has recovered 111 million naira from 23 officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC.
7 weeks after the Inspector General of Police sets up the Joint Committee of Police and the DSS to probe the alleged financial inducement in the election, the panel is here to submit its findings. In its report, the committee said that the leadership and followers of political parties should be held responsible for the political unrest in the state during the election period.
We discovered that failure of leadership and fellowship, rather than law enforcement, was responsible for political upheaval in the state. There were, however, some cases of misconduct on the part of electoral officers and law enforcement agents who unfortunately allow themselves to be compromised in their line of duties and deserve to be disciplined appropriately.
Speaking after receiving the report, Nigeria's police chief commended the panel for a job well done, even as he insists the probe isn't a witch-hunting exercise. IGP Ibrahim Idris said the 6 police officers involved in the professional misconduct have been dismissed from the service and would be charged to court in due course.
We are going to take appropriate and necessary actions in conjunction, obviously, with the law officer of the Federation, that's the Attorney General, who we are going to send some of your reports so that we can, all of us can put our heads together to put an end to most of the abuse that people are subjected to the electoral process in this country. So I want the Nigerians to look at it as it's a corrective panel. So I want you to look at some of the transparency of this panel, and I think we should give them credit for it.
The sum total of 111,300,000 was recovered by the panel from electoral officers, 23 of them, out of which of 360 million was given by Rivers State government to them. 15 million was given to each of the electoral officers and 5 million added to them by the government of Rivers to the EOs who were in charge.
The money recovered, according to the IGP, will be returned to the country's treasury.
A good job there by the investigative panel. Now, a member of the notorious 7-man Fulani kidnapping gang that made traveling along Kwale-Asaba Highway in Delta State a very risky venture is now in police net. The apprehended kingpin Haruna Umar from Taraba State was among 18 suspects paraded Thursday by the Delta State Commissioner of Police, Zana Mohammed. TVC correspondent Carl Ofonye has more in this report.
This is the young Haruna Umar, who leads a 7-man gang that specialized in blocking cars and commercial buses on the highways and taking their passengers hostage for ransom. So far, 6 out of the 7-man gang have been apprehended. And as heinous as the alleged crime sounded, Haruna did not deny the allegations when we interviewed him. In fact, he was very relaxed and bold to tell us about his kidnapping exploits on Kwale-Asaba Road before he was arrested by the police.
I kidnap once. From there I go village. As I come back, then come arrest me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you just kidnap one. You after the Congo village. When you come back, they arrested you.
Yes, sir.
How much can I get for that one?
Now 1 million them pay.
Haruna's voluntary confession before TVC News crew confirmed the information the police commissioner earlier provided in his brief. But as disturbing as the activities of the kidnappers might appear, what is more worrisome to the Delta State Police boss is the speed at which family members of victims rush to pay ransom. This trend, according to the police commissioner, has made vibrant use from all over the country to see kidnapping as a lucrative business to go into.
I will showcase before you 35 suspects, kidnapped suspects, kidnapping only. I have 35 of them in my custody. And it cuts across tribes. So when people mention, they say they are Fulani herdsmen, I think it's generalizing too much.
Mr. Zana Mohammed appealed to members of the public to cooperate with the police in their ongoing efforts to rid the state of these criminal elements. But this man, who survived 2 days of captivity in the bush with the Fulani daredevil kidnappers, is not impressed with this appeal by the police. He wants the State Police Command to station special anti-kidnapping squad on the highways and make their phone numbers available to members of the public to curb the menace. He made an appeal to this effect as he was narrating his ordeal in the hands of the hoodlums.
When I was abducted, they told me, because God was really on my side, they took me to the bush after some beating, and while in the bush I was praying, asking God for intervention, and I believe God intervened. So while they were discussing, they told me they are Fulani Boko Haram. That was just their statement. They said they are Fulani Boko Harams. I should look at the gun they are carrying, that these guns are not for police. I should see it is brownish in color. Police is something black. And I told them, okay. So they now placed a ransom and all the rest. But God intervened, because I must say I was not beaten in the bush. Only the beating I received was when they were dragging me to the bush. Police tried their best. They came. They were shooting. But the firing power from the guys were too much. So police retreated and they took me in.
It is worthy of note that in every parade of suspects the police in Delta State do these days, 90% or more of the suspects are usually kidnappers. And the suspects, interestingly, cut across different ethnic nationalities in Nigeria, making it a national affair.
Shukuran tabarakallah, mu kasinan duk duniya bata ba mu baya ba. Masha Allah, shukuran tabarakallah, mu kasinan duk duniya bata ba mu baya ba. Bismillahi farko da sunan Jalla shine abin somawa. Komai zan yi in har na sa sunan ka to abin bai kwabewa. Nai maka godiya
The Navy says it has destroyed 40 illegal oil refineries within the past 28 days of its operation, codenamed Operation River Sweep, to check the activities of bunkers, oil thieves and other infractions on the waterways, especially along Bonny-One axis in Rivers State. Edmond Awaje completes the story.
The Eastern Naval Command of the Navy says Operation River Sweep 1 carried out a successful operation after destroying 40 illegal oil refineries within its area of responsibility, with the use of 2 naval ships, in addition to 8 patrol boats drawn from the NNS Pathfinder, as well as naval helicopter and other equipments.
In the last 28 days, the participating units arrested 3 vessels engaged in various maritime crimes. 2 of these vessels, namely MV Lewis Ejiro and MV Lady Sweeting, were arrested laden with illegal refined AGO. Also, about 40 illegal refineries and 66 large wooden boats, each with capacity for 33,000 liters ending loading capacity, translating into 5,240,000 liters of illegally refined AGO, were also destroyed, along with 4 speed boats that were used for their operations. It may interest you to know that the total estimated loss for the destroyed illegal refineries, which include the various tanks and equipment that they employ in their operations, amount to about 3 billion naira.
Rear Admiral Oluwole explained that the successes were achieved were possible through some strategies employed by his command to stop proliferation of crimes in the maritime sector.
The Nigerian Navy, as a major stakeholder in the protection of the maritime environment, uprooted, destroyed, and disposed all illegal refinery equipment in a manner that is consistent with global environmental best practices. This method has undoubtedly proved to be effective and impactful. Aside the physical destructions of the sites, the new strategy helps to further destroy the chain of criminality involved in these nefarious acts. The strategy could therefore be considered as a model for crushing any illegal refinery sites once and for all, and without the fear of the criminals reorganizing or resurfacing again.
With the feat achieved, the Navy says it is optimistic that activities of oil thieves have been effectively checked and reduced. This, it says, would further boost maritime operations and save the government huge sums of money lost to the illegal trade.
From Rivers now to Abia, where the police say they have rescued a 25-year-old girl from the hands of her adopters, who allegedly held her and used her as sex slave for more than 7 years. TVC News correspondent Nnamdi Ofonye witnessed the parade and completes the story.
The war waged by the police against crime and criminality in Abia State has continued to yield dividends. This time, a 25-year-old girl simply called Chima was rescued while her abductor, Enyeribe Nkwacha, alleged to have abducted her since 2010 and used her as sex slave to make money, was also arrested. He was among other suspects paraded by the command for various violent crimes ranging from abduction, car snatching, child trafficking, armed robbery, among others, at the command's headquarters in Umuahia, the state capital. Chima, with tears in her eyes, narrated some unspeakable experiences she was forced to pass through in the hands of the gang she ran into while traveling from Lagos to Bayelsa State sometime in 2010. She was forcefully subjected to oath-taking right inside the vehicle. Since that night, she changed from an SS1 student into a school dropout sex machine.
Then I was 17 to 18 years, 2009 to 2010. So I traveled to Lagos. On my way coming back to Bayelsa to see my sister. I was coming from Lagos. So I stopped at Agor Free Park at Tumbia, so the motor park. So when I dropped, it was 7 to 8 at night. So the size that I stopped, I don't know he was a kidnapped. It was a kidnapped vehicle. So when I entered the vehicle, I told them I was going to attend. I would drop at PDP Junction. So when we get at PDP Junction, I was asked them to drop me, but the driver refused to drop me and drive me to a corner of the bush. So I was forced to take an oath with him in that vehicle, and which I did because I was forced by the man. I said if I reveal the secret to anyone that I will vomit blood and die. That was the oath we took. So first of all, the man introduced me to a clubbing. And the first money I got from the club, he collected it and he told me that I have started my missionary journey since then. So when the stress of the club is too much for me, I told the man that I cannot continue going to the club, that I may get killed. Because at the club, I will follow someone to this house. So the man told me that, okay, that he will take me to a hotel. That I will be staying to a hotel. Since then, he has been taking me from hotel to hotel for 8 years now. He has been sleeping with me too.
In his confession, the suspect, Enyeribe, allegedly responsible for arranging and fixing sex escapades for his victim across all parts of the country, tried unsuccessfully to deny the allegations.
I never kidnapped her for one day before God who made heaven and earth. I met her in a car where we enter the person a car. So I paid with money, with a foreign currency. Then she now called me back with the taxi man. That is how I know her. We now start introducing ourselves, and it was around 8 to 9 in the night.
At what point did you take the oath? Was it not inside the car you took the oath?
Yes, inside. It's after we dropped inside the car.
The police also paraded one Chiwendu Ngozi, a suspected child trafficker from whom a 6-year-old girl was rescued after she had earlier that same day stolen her from the mother.
Somebody directs me to go and tell the vigilante people to explain to them that my daughter is missing. When I go to them, they now come and forcing this person to tell the truth, that they know that she's a child seller, that she used to sell people's children. They now force her. She still refused. They flogged her, tortured her. Still, she's lying. They now tell me to go and report to the police station. So they seized her phone. Through the phone now is where we know that she's the one that sold it, because the people that she do the business with start calling the phone without knowing that she's not the one holding the phone.
I now go to buy something. The girl now follow me. I tell her to go back. She refused to go back. I tell her, I said, go back, I come. She refused. Later, I said, we are going. One boy like that come and hurt me and pick the girl. And I started shouting, say, keep the girl, keep the girl, keep the girl, keep the girl. He ran away.
Chiwendu later took the police to the home of the alleged child buyer, who is now at large, but where the police met 2 pregnant teenagers. The police suspects that the home is used as baby factory. The pregnant teenagers deny being kept in the home for the purpose of selling off their babies after delivery, claiming that the home is that of their mother-in-law who is taking care of them.
I was with my boyfriend there, the one responsible for my pregnancy. Finish.
So that's their house?
Yes.
So it's not a baby factory then?
No.
The message of the State Commissioner of Police, Leyo Yebade, remains the same. He says that there is no more hiding place for criminals in any part of Abia State.
Just before we wrap up, remember, security is everyone's business. Let's keep our society safe by giving useful information to security operatives. Send your comments coming to crimewatch@tvcnews.tv. Till next time, I'm Ivy Kano.